Other leaders, stars and celebrities have also been remembering Nelson Mandela. Here's our diplomatic correspondent, Bridget Kendall.
A towering figure, his statue already a landmark in central London. And it didn't take long after his death was confirmed for the first tributes to Nelson Mandela to appear. The start of an outpouring of affection and respect for a man whom the whole world held in the highest esteem. At Downing Street, the flags, British and South African, were flown at half-mast. David Cameron lost no time in emerging to pay his respects.
Tonight, one of the brightest lights of our world has gone out. Nelson Mandela was not just a hero of our time, but a hero of all time.
Across the Atlantic in Washington, the flags at the White House also flew at half-staff. In mourning, President Obama said, for the loss of a close friend, an incomparable liberator and an inspiration for freedom.
I am one of the countless millions who drew inspiration from Nelson Mandela's life. My very first political action, the first thing I ever did that involved an issue or a policy or politics, was a protest against apartheid.
And in New York, the passing of a great leader was mourned both in Times Square and at the United Nations, where diplomats in the Security Council paused in silent tribute.
When I thanked him for his life's work, he insisted the credit belonged to others. I will never forget his selflessness and deep sense of shared purpose.
On the other side of the world, as Asia woke up to the news, further tributes poured in. In Beijing, he was praised as an old friend of China. The Indian Prime Minister called him a giant among men and a true Gandhian. And there was this from Japan's Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe. He fought for the abolition of apartheid with a strong will, said Mr. Abe. On nation building, he made a major achievement with focus on the reconciliation of people. He was a great leader. And from the many people from all walks of life who met Nelson Mandela, former US President Bill Clinton said he'd lost a true friend. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair praised him as a great man who'd made racism not just immoral, but stupid. The great US boxing legend Muhammad Ali called Mandela a symbol of forgiveness. Former footballer David Beckham said the world had lost a true gentleman. And South African actress Charlize Theron said that though Mandela would be missed, his impact would live forever. By chance, just before news came of his death, fans were gathering for the London premiere of the new biopic of his life, Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Among those who came to it, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. It wasn't till the credits rolled that the news of the death was announced, leaving the audience shocked and sombre, including Prince William.
It's obviously extremely sad and tragic news. We're just reminded of what an extraordinary and inspiring man Nelson Mandela was. And my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family right now. Thank you.
As news of the death began to sink in, crowds gathered to share their grief and mark their respect. Overnight in London, it was South Africa House in Trafalgar Square which drew them. Just the start of the process of mourning for a figure whose impact on the world has surely been monumental. Bridget Kendall, BBC News.